Welcome to the Innovation World podcast. Innovation World is your go-to source for all things innovation, invention, and entrepreneurship. Our website is www.innovationworld.org.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Innovation World. This is your co-host, Carmine Danisco, coming to you on the Launch Network. We are so excited to have this podcast going on. We got a lot of cool stuff to cover today. Let me bring on my co-host, Ms. Julie Shively. Julie, what's happening?
Hey, lots of stuff. We're back into the swing of things now that the holidays are over. Want to remind everyone again to go take a look at innovationworld.org. Most especially this time of year, looking for those competitions and events. Go to innovationworld.org/events and see what's out there. We have a Ready, Set, Innovate invention competition going on right now for anyone grades kindergarten all the way through age 25. And you can submit your current or past inventions and for a chance to work with Inventors Launchpad if you place in the finals.
Yeah. Julie, I was looking at the webpage. Boy, you've been doing a lot of work. There's a lot of stuff going on throughout the country.
There is. And in fact, not just as much as we love the Ready, Set, Innovate competition, if you go to that events page, you'll find links to all sorts of other competitions that may fit you or suit you better. I mean, there cannot be enough ways for an inventor to go out and try their stuff. So, feel free to dabble in every competition you can find. I mean, why not? Right?
Oh,
some of them yield some pretty cool things. So.
Oh, no doubt. And I just like saying that, Ready, Set, Innovate. I mean, I can't say it 5 times fast, but it just sounds cool. Like that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah. And then, so today we also want to talk about, not just about competitions, but there's a competition that goes on in the state of Illinois, focused, I think, in Chicago, but I'm pretty sure that they're open to just about anybody in the state. And our special guest today, Allison James, is from the Chicago Student Invention Convention.
Yep, try to say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, I know. And that is run by Chicago Innovates, correct?
Yes, Chicago Innovation. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Chicago Innovation. So tell us a little bit about, Allison, how did you end up at Chicago Innovation and what's your role with the Student Invention Convention program there?
Yeah, so I'm an educator. I started teaching in the Peace Corps, actually. So I taught middle schoolers in Nicaragua. And I also worked as a lecturer at the University of Illinois at Chicago. So I have taught 18 to 25-year-olds as well. And I'm a trained teacher in middle grades and high school education. So I love curriculum. I love hands-on projects, things that have an authentic audience, things that involve experiential learning. And that's everything that we offer at the Chicago Student Invention Convention. So I am the program manager. I'm super excited to bring the curriculum to this past couple months. We trained over 100 teachers in our free hands-on NGSS-aligned curriculum. And that gets students thinking about innovation, entrepreneurship, and invention, but it's all centered around them. So I'm super excited about that because it's truly student-centered learning. We ask them what's a problem that they have in their life, and then give them tools from STEM content, computer science, design, to help them solve those problems through an invention.
Did you mention what age group you're working with?
Yeah, so we work with kindergartners through 8th graders. And you're right, it is open to everyone in Illinois, though most of our schools do come from Chicago and the Collier counties surrounding it.
You're still a pretty new program, aren't you?
So yeah, our program has run this for 3 years, but as a whole, it's been running for 8 years. So it has some pretty deep roots in the city, and we're beginning to expand to other types of educational spaces, which I'm really excited about too. So we're no longer only in classrooms. We're in classrooms, we're in after-school spaces, we're in nonprofits that work with youth, and we're also in libraries. So the Chicago Public Libraries have 9 branches that are running Chicago Student Invention Convention this year.
Wow.
Nice.
That's cool.
And so I think I read something recently that you sent that said you were at 50 sites this year.
Yeah, yep. So we're growing every year. 100 teachers trained, and last year we had 3,500 students participate. So we're hoping to just keep on growing.
Nice.
That's huge.
And then you have a state competition that you hold.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? And
Yes.
when is your competition this year?
So this year it will be again at Illinois Tech. That's on the south side of Chicago, and it's April 25th, which is a Saturday. So we're inviting anyone who would like to be involved as a judge. We need a lot of volunteer judges from the education field, from the content and industry fields who would like to participate. So we're always looking for volunteers. But it's a great space. The kids are always so excited to participate. I think the real joy of the program is to see the looks on their faces when they're honored for their product, and also when they get to explain it to someone. Because again, that authentic audience is so critical. It's not just the teacher that cares about it.
So how does somebody who wants to judge reach out to judge for you or to volunteer?
Yeah, so if anyone wants to learn more about the program, they can reach out to me over email, and I'd be happy to get them connected to the right bucket. So my email address is Ally, ALLY, at chicagoinnovation.com.
Okay, terrific. And do you accept other types of volunteers as well for the program?
Yeah, so we also have an interesting mentor match component. So that pairs people in industry with classrooms and now after school spaces. So this could look like maybe an industry person coming in for a one-time pitch session with the kids, or it could be an ongoing mentorship. So if the classroom is running this every Thursday during 5th period science class, the mentor could come in every other week or once a month and work with the same kids and create that connection. So that's a really unique opportunity for a company who's looking to give back. That's a great way to get involved.
That sounds great.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Hey, Allison, real question for you. Is there a preference on the age? Like, do you have certain age groups that participate more than the others, or is it kind of equal across the board?
That's really interesting. Yeah, looking at the data from years past, it skews towards the older kids.
Oh.
But that's not to say that our younger kids aren't amazing. They actually placed really highly at the national convention. So that's something to mention too, is we run the Illinois convention and program, but we're an affiliate of a national program called Invention Convention Worldwide. And so winners from our convention have a chance to advance to the national level, which is held at the Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation in Michigan. And so last year, let me just pull my actual numbers here. So last year, we placed first place in first grade, so the younger kids, and first place for third grade. And
Nice.
We also had the overall Visioneer winner. So even though it skews older, our younger kids are super smart.
Yeah.
Do you recall the inventions that won?
I know the Visioneer Award was the Charge Air. And that's an invention which it's like a little fan, electric fan that you can put on a car. And so an electric vehicle can charge itself while it's driving as the fan's spinning and generating that electricity. So just a super cool idea that I think has a lot of applicability to the real world.
Wow, that's awesome.
So thinking about all of the inventions that you've been exposed to, I know you're fairly new with Chicago Student Invention Convention, but I'm sure you've still run into quite a few. What's the most interesting invention, or maybe the one that you thought, I can't believe anyone even thought of this invention? What would you say was the most interesting invention?
I feel like it's more not that I can't believe someone thought of it, but I can't believe I didn't think of it is the feeling that I get a lot, because these inventions are so intuitive and so necessary. But one that is kind of unique is a butter stick. So again, from one of our younger inventors, she was seeing her sister struggle spreading butter on toast. You know how butter gets, it's all lumpy and it's just, giving everyone the struggle. And so she thought, okay, well, I can help my younger sister out. She's getting frustrated. She's mangling this toast. I'm going to create a butter stick So it's a glue stick mechanism that raises the butter out, and you can just spread it easily. No knives and mangling involved, and it's just something so simple yet so impactful for her younger sister. And it was really
Interesting.
innovative. Mm-hmm.
There was one in Ohio. Oh gosh, 5-6 years ago, called Ellie's Jellies. Mm-hmm. And it was similar. The little girl said she was always tearing up her bread when she was spreading peanut butter and jelly. So she took it looked like a men's deodorant container, and one was peanut butter and one was jelly. Mm-hmm. And you'd spread them on that way. It was pretty cute.
Of course she cleaned them out before.
I'm hoping. I think she ended up on the Jimmy Fallon show with that. So, and I did see Jimmy take a bite of the sandwich and not keel over or anything. So, pretty sure that they used clean ones. But
in case people are listening to this during their lunchtime.
Yeah, right. Just amazing what they come up with it. Who would have ever thought to use that roll on or roll up or the glue stick that rolls for anything other than that? I mean, I think that sometimes don't you think that these kids, just because they have so few rules in their brain, they're just so much, they're sponges to that kind of thing.
Yeah. Right.
They don't see the why we can't. They see the how do we do it instead.
And the interesting part too is with the curriculum that we teach our teachers, they're finding that while there is this innate energy and ability to innovate in the kids, they've never been really asked to do this in a classroom setting. And so it's almost like they have to unlearn some of the things that they've been told. Like, there is a right and wrong answer. Don't fail. Failure is bad, right? And so we kind of unlearn all of these rules in order to make mistakes, to fail, to persist, and to get a little messy with our ideas. And so the kids at first are hesitant, even though they're naturally good at it, they're hesitant to do it. So the curriculum helps unpack some of those restrictions and kind of help them ideate and make those connections.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, giving the kids, no rules in a sense that it's okay to fail and things like that, it really opens their mind up to really imagine almost anything.
Right. And to make an impact in their own lives, because we're starting with them. So if we start with a problem that they care about, it gives them that sense of agency that, yes, I can make a change in the world. So it's also this really cool layer of social justice and action that I think, they might not have thought about when they thought about science class or math class. So I think that's really cool too.
So what kind of skills are learned through this process?
So critical thinking is a huge skill that comes out of it. We always say that, not every kid is going to go on to be an inventor, though, of course, we hope that that's an unexpected outcome in their lives, that this sparks something interesting down the road. But critical thinking is a transferable skill that they learn, and they can bring with them into many different settings. Being an independent thinker, so being able to self-manage through problems, is another skill that they learn. Because while the teacher is there to guide them through the steps, inventing is messy, and so you might be designing and building one second and then back to the drawing board with ideation the next. So the students are really able to kind of self-regulate and kind of guide themselves through that process. And I would say also problem solving and creativity, which kind of go hand in hand. So again, encouraging those students to take risks and to have that grit to persevere. So all the good stuff.
Yeah. All the good stuff. So do you tell us a little bit about the diversity of your program? Is this a program for boys, girls, everybody? Is
everybody.
It gifted?
What did you say, Julie?
Gifted programming or any student?
So that's really awesome. Great question. It's for everyone. And because we kind of tout ourselves as a problem-solving program and not necessarily a STEM program, even though certainly students are diving into STEM as a mechanism to invent, being a problem-solving program appeals to a lot of different people. And so we are located all throughout the city. We reach boys and girls. We actually skew towards girls. So we were 61% female participants last year. So go girl inventors.
Yeah.
And we're also very socioeconomically diverse and racially diverse. So we're kind of reaching everyone. And it's kind of cool because at our orientations, you'll have a librarian sitting next to a gifted charter school teacher, next to a Chicago public school teacher, and they're all talking invention and entrepreneurship. So it's also a really neat way for like-minded educators to meet as well.
So is it expensive?
It's free. It's free.
Is it expensive?
Thank you, sponsors.
Is it expensive to be an inventor?
So to be an inventor, it's not expensive because we encourage students to use Dunk and to repurpose and to imagine. So you can really invent with anything. Really, you just need an idea.
And for any educators out there listening, how long a program is this, or can it be tailored for their classroom? Yeah,
so typically it runs 10 weeks, but we're very flexible. And so I work with individual instructors on pacing. We do offer pacing guides. And after our teachers are trained, they receive this package of all these goodies, including PowerPoints, rubrics, worksheets, pacing guides, and lesson plans. So we kind of give our teachers everything they need to hit the ground running, and then it can be adapted based on their needs. Because as you can imagine, a library where students kind of come in and out and you might not see the same student again, versus a classroom where you're meeting every day with the same students, might look a little different. So we really tailor the curriculum to meet the needs of the instructor.
Hey, Allison, real quick, and the program itself, do you, the instructors get together? Are you guys facing any kind of issues or problems that you're trying to solve yourselves to help the kids?
Can you explain your question a little bit more?
Yeah, so a lot of times organizations run into issues. Either it's instructor shortages or health or shortages or funding or things like that. Or are you guys running anything that you need help with?
Oh, great. Yeah. Well, we definitely could always use more financial support. The way we distribute our funds is to enrich our program. So while we offer the curriculum for free, we do supply material and supply stipends to our teachers.
Okay.
And so as we grow, that amount is going to grow as well. We also try to provide scholarships for students who go on to nationals, because there is a cost involved, not at our convention, but to continue on to the national level. And so we want to make sure that everyone who's winning at our local level has the ability to continue on. So, financial support is always a great thing for us to be able to grow. We are really lucky to have sponsors who not only understand that, but also understand that our teachers are super excited about the options that are open to them, because, kids can invent with STEM, they can invent with coding. And so this year we're partnering with Encyclopedia Britannica, and they're offering some really cool resources for our teachers for free to use, including Lumi Labs, which is their digital storytelling platform, and Launchpad Science, so the kids can research right there in the EB products. And we've also been working with Codeverse. So Codeverse is a local Chicago organization that believes that every kid can code. And so they gave coding instruction to all of our instructors and access to KidScript, which is their kid coding software. So we're hoping to see some cool computer science-based inventions come out at the convention this year.
Very cool.
That is cool. So Encyclopedia Britannica they're providing you the curriculum?
So the curriculum is provided by Invention Convention Worldwide, which is the national organization. But Encyclopedia Britannica has digital learning products. And so our teachers can integrate those into the curriculum that they give the students. So some of our steps of invention include researching, what has been done to solve this problem before, what's out there. I don't want to invent something that's already out there. And so looking through research articles and kind of digging in at the different grade levels helps students figure out what steps to take next. So Encyclopedia Britannica products can help them with that. So yeah, we're really excited to have a sponsor that is kind of in the education world and can help our teachers.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Hey, Julie, I know that you probably had to say for both of you guys, if a company is looking to sponsor, what type of company would be a good target for you guys to get as sponsors?
Yeah, I think companies that are interested in helping, either companies that are involved in education, companies that are involved in STEM. So we are also sponsored by Horizon Therapeutics, which is a pharmaceutical company. So the content area is a great way to integrate, as well as the education lens. But I think anyone who cares about solving equity gaps, so people who are interested in social justice, people who care about making sure that every child has the resources and ability to shine. Because as Julie said, these kids, they're naturally imaginative and innovative, and it's just sometimes these barriers come from lack of resource or time or exposure. So anyone who cares about leveling the playing field, I think would be a great sponsor.
Yeah.
I think that any organization out there for which there could be inventions is a great sponsor. I mean, if you think about how many categories of invention or how many categories of industries do your kids have to choose from, Allison? I think ours was like 17 to 21 or something, and those were the categories we could think of. Anything from medical, healthcare, animals,
sustainability,
toys, games. Yeah. Gosh, there are so many. So any industry out there is there because of some form of invention over time, whether it's their own product invention or a product invention is supporting them. So I really think that there are no legal businesses for which there could not become a sponsor.
Agreed.
Oh, you threw the legal thing out there.
I thought that might be helpful.
I'm looking at all that. We just lost 3 or 4 listeners there. No, I agree. And you know what's great about it is that if we could just get some of these people who are on the fence, thinking about sponsoring or wondering, what ultimately it's going to be with, if we could get them to the events and talk to these kids, see the excitement and see what they're really doing. It would be so much easier to get those sponsors to jump on board. It's just so much fun, the excitement going to these events and talking to the kids.
Yeah, I think that that's one of the things that when you're wrapping those judges in there, I think that's one of the things that most of the local organizations look at is wrapping judges in from prospective sponsor areas, so the sponsor can or the prospective sponsor can get a real feel for what it is that's done. I might also suggest that if there's somebody out there listening who really wants to become involved and they're in Illinois or based in the Illinois area, they definitely should reach out to Allison. And if you're not in Illinois or you want to sponsor on a broader or a more national level, reach out to innovationworld.org. Or you're in another state and want to have a referral to another state, we can help you find that state. So, there's so many ways to support and to provide resources. Even if it's not funds you want, we can find ways for you to support.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if Allison, you probably know this, but I've been to some of the events and I was overwhelmed by how many judges and how many volunteers were there. I thought it was a great showing, right?
Definitely. Yeah, it really brings out the Chicago community. And now as we're growing into the collar counties, and we actually have plans down the road to expand throughout all of Illinois. So having a hub in downstate Illinois. So really creating that sense of community around a common cause brings people out of the woodwork, and that plus being interdisciplinary, as Julie said. So not having one field or one specialized area, but really across the board, everyone can kind of see themselves and their interests represented. I think it brings out a lot of different folks.
Yeah, I agree.
So when you have your state event, we would absolutely love to have you come back on with an inventor or two if you'd like.
Oh, that would be great.
Show off some of the brilliant young inventors from Illinois.
Absolutely.
Anytime you have something new that you'd like to share with it, you're always welcome to come back and spend some time with us. Do you have anything else you'd like to tell the audience today? Anything anything that you'd like to share coming up with your program?
Let's see. Well, I guess the one thing we haven't really talked about yet is what's like a next step. And prior to this year, the next step was, you compete, you go on to compete again, you have your authentic audience, you are really excited about your product, and that's kind of it. And so we're hoping to build out a pathway for patents, because I think that's like the next logical step for our students to take, those who are really excited about their idea and want to take it to the next level. So that's something that we're piloting this year, is having a patent arm to our program. So it will, for the first time, have a patent award. And so students who are considered for this award at the convention will be able to receive patent support to see if their idea can move forward. So we're very excited about that. And another way we're trying to grow is to involve teens, because here in Chicago, it's a kindergarten through 8th grade program. And so we're looking for ways to involve teens as near peers to the students who are involved. So getting teen interns and teen mentors to come into the class space and assist teachers with the curriculum. So that's, again, a pilot for this year. So we're pretty excited about that too.
So does that include some of the kids that age out of your program?
Yeah, so high schoolers, definitely.
Nice. So I know that there's a lot involved in taking that invention to the next step. Certainly it's important to understand whether or not you've got something patentable, whether it makes sense to patent it now, later. Beyond that, there's a lot that has to go on to take an invention that's a really, really good invention all the way out to market. And I know that's one of the things that Inventors Launchpad does, is takes a look at the entire idea, I guess not just the invention itself, the whole idea of the invention, and helps determine whether what steps are next, if there are steps next that should be done with that. And so, keep that in mind as you guys move forward. And some of those kids that even are looking at that patent stage, once that's done, or if they've decided to go that route, I know that that's what Carmine's organization does very, very well. And I'm sure that they would love to talk to more students over time. So
definitely.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I could have done that a lot better, Carmine.
So Allison, what Julie's trying to say is that no, if you ever want to get some of the students or some of the inventors together, we could do a webinar, and I could go through the sequence of inventing and when sometimes the best time to do a prototype or a patent or a provisional patent or manufacturing or whatever it is. We have kind of a sequence that we have laid out that we've taken thousands of products through. It doesn't work for every invention, but it gives you a good baseline. And if you ever wanted to do some free webinars with the kids or anything like that, you just let us know. We would love to help.
Oh, that's great.
That's what I said.
Yeah, you did.
I
was just repeating what Julie said.
We actually did that last year in Ohio a little bit with the students that had won at the state level that were going to head to nationals. Or was it the students after nationals? No, I think it was the students that were going to go to nationals next. I think that we did a couple webinars for them last year, or Inventors Launchpad did, and it really worked out well. I mean, they have such inquisitive questions.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds awesome. Thank you so much. I would love to take you up on that, and and also bringing some kids on for the podcast as well. So I'm really excited to continue collaborating.
Yeah, and that's who the audience really wants to listen to. They don't want to listen to me and Carmine. They want to listen to the kids.
No doubt. Yeah. It's funny, Allison, when some of the events I spoke at, when I was talking to the kids, I thought I was going to have to, talk down to a lower level because they're kids, but all of a sudden they started throwing this lingo at me and I was like, wow, these kids really know their stuff, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah, no, to what you said earlier about, coming to the convention and seeing that energy, it's so interesting to see a kid go from shy and maybe nervous. And then you ask them about, what's your invention? Why did you make this? And they just light up, and it's like someone flipped a switch, and it's this area for them to shine. And so I think that's another cool thing about the program is your best inventor might not be your best student. It might be the student who you thought was just hanging out in the back and might not be listening. And all of a sudden, this really asks them to engage and to activate things that they've never been asked to do before. And so I think that's another really cool outcome is giving students a platform to surprise themselves and to find that STEM expert in themselves that they didn't even know was there.
Yeah, very well said, Allison. You're 1,000,000% right. That was me in school, sitting in the back, thinking about what I could make next, not even listening to the teachers. And, so you're exactly right. All right, Julie, what do you got? So any announcements or anything, or we kind of...
I just want to remind folks once again to head over to innovationworld.org/events. Check out the Ready, Set, Innovate competition. It can be an invention that you invented in the past. It could be an invention that you're going to take to another competition in the future. Doesn't matter to us. We'd love to see what you've got. And every one of the winners that places will get to work with Inventors Launchpad, helping them discover and move forward with their next step on their invention. So it's a really cool opportunity, and I encourage everyone to go out and take a look at it. I want to give you an opportunity, Allison, before we head off, to plug your organization again and to provide your contact information for anyone who happens to be listening today.
Great. Thank you, Julie. Yeah, you can reach me with any questions, or if you're looking to get involved in anything we've talked about, just reach out to me at Ally, ALLY, at chicagoinnovation.com. And our website is chicagoinnovation.com/invention convention. I'll say that again, chicagoinnovation.com/invention convention. And I can provide those links to you both as well.
Very good.
Okay.
Very cool. Well, Allison, thank you so much for everything you're doing for the kids, for the programs. When Julie said you were coming on, I mean, she really brought a superstar on. I mean, you really got a lot of cool stuff going on. You got some great things in the future and events. I can't wait to see how everything comes out. And like Julie said, you're definitely welcome to come on, bring some kids on that has some ideas and things. We'd love to hear about them.
Great. Thank you both so much. And thank you for everything you're doing. I'm excited to share it with our teachers.
Well, thank you. Thank you again. So I won't say Invention World, Julie, this time. It's innovationworld.org. Check it out. Thank you for listening. If you can, please go on out to Google or iTunes or Facebook and leave us a note, leave us a message wherever you consume your podcast content. We'd love to hear from you. And again, this is Carmen Danisco for Julie Shively coming to you from Innovation World. We'll catch you next time. You all take care.
Take care.
Thank you for joining us today for the Innovation World podcast and the Launch Network. Innovation World is your go-to source for all things innovation, invention, and entrepreneurship. Our website is www.innovationworld.org.